Hey everybody, welcome back. So you're probably asking yourself, how come we're sitting out in Chuck's car? Well, a couple of reasons. One, I have a slight problem to solve. And two, an acquaintance of mine asked me if I could produce a short video, around 5 minutes or so, telling why the average person or the average household might want to have a 3D printer in it and somebody who knows how to use it. So this is that video. So first off, we need a problem. Here is my problem. This is my old phone holder. As you can see, it's just a round steel ball, has some magnetic tape on the back and a little cup that fits on it. And it just snaps on that ball. You can rotate it in any direction. And I love these phone holders. I have them in every vehicle I own. So here is my old phone. This is an old Google Pixel phone in this case. Has this big rectangular metal plate. Sticky backed on it, and all you do is you get in your car, you smack it down, you're ready to go. Plug it in and it will stay there. This is a Jeep. It will stay there even the way I drive in my Jeep. And one of the reasons I own Jeeps is so I can basically ignore curbs. So here's my problem. Here's the problem we want to fix today. This is my new phone. It is the Blue Vivo XI, which I reviewed, and I got some off Amazon, some of these metal plates with the 3M backing. There's round ones and rectangular ones like I had on the old Pixel phone. And it worked great. It just let me come in and go whack, and it stuck right to it with the magnet, and everything was fine, except this phone has wireless charging, and with the metal plate on the back, even the small round one, it prevented it from charging. So my goal today in this video is to use my 3D printer and my knowledge of Fusion 360 to make some type of interface that will go between the phone and the magnet, so I don't have to take the phone out of the case every night to charge it, because the case comes off kind of hard. It fits really tight, and it's a pain in the butt to get off, and sooner or later I'm going to bust something. So let's use what we got, let's make something here, and let's show the world why everybody should have a 3D printer. Be right back.
Okay, so here we are back at the computer, and the program you're looking at is called Autodesk Fusion 360, and you're looking at the free version of it. I used to have the startup educational version of it, but when they came out with the free version, I went ahead and switched to that, mainly because I just didn't want to jump through all the hoops to keep the startup version, and this does everything I want, and I'm not really making any money off it. So free version for me. So here's the part that I made, and it is very simple. It's just a plate with 2 legs at the bottom to hold the phone and 2 legs on the side. And I also put an indentation in the back because I'm going to glue one of those round metal plates in it. So let's take a quick look at this, and you can download this program for free from Autodesk.com. You'll find it. It's not hard to locate. So let's take a quick look at how I made this. First thing I did was I came into Modify and Change Parameters. Well, first thing I did was I took all the measurements, and I came in and I added all the measurements. And to do it, you just click the plus button to add a parameter. You put in what you want to call it, and under expression you put in the size in millimeters or centimeters if you're using the metric system, and in inches and feet, not feet, but in inches and fractions of inches if you're using freedom units. Haha, freedom units. I love that. Don't get upset. So I put them all in, and don't worry about it if you don't get this right the first time. That's why we call it prototyping. If the first one doesn't fit, well, now you know how to make the next one fit. My first one didn't work, and it didn't work because I didn't leave enough room for shrinkage, and I got the height of the legs wrong, and I had the legs right over top of the power button. And the fact that I didn't take in for shrinkage meant it was constantly pushing the power button, which didn't work very well. So let's take a quick look, and let's see how I created this. So I'm going to slide the timeline button at the bottom all the way back. Up, I got to turn sketches back on. And you will see that the first thing I did was I just drew my rectangle. And after I had my rectangle drawn and sized, and under dimensions, I just used the parameter names I created. And that also makes it easier to come back later, because if I want to change a size, I don't have to come back into the drawing. I go back into the parameter and just change that, and it automatically changes it everywhere. So the next thing I did was I extruded it up the thickness I had set, and I made another drawing with some other things on it. And here, let me turn those other sketches on and go back to that sketch. you'll see I added these parts in here, and I only added two, one on each side, because I'm going to use the mirror function to mirror it to the other side. And then I extruded it up. Let's kind of change it, the view here. Then I have another sketch here. Let me turn it on, and I added this little rectangle in here because that's going to be my extension. And then I get that back like that. Then I extruded that, and then I mirrored it to the other side, and that kept me from having to do the same thing over here. I just said mirror. It asked me what I wanted to mirror. I told it I wanted this here to mirror, and I told it what plane I wanted to mirror on. If you ever go through the tutorial on this, you'll figure it out. It's really not hard. I've got some tutorials out there for an earlier version, and my favorite guy that does it, Lars Christensen, that I learned from, most of his are from an earlier version too. But even though things are different looking and moved around, most of them are still there. Then the next sketch, I put my rectangle in here, and I extruded it out. Then I mirrored it to the other side. Then I have another sketch, and this sketch is where I made the inset for the bottom. And this one, instead of extruding, I cut it in. And you can see I put a 1.5 millimeter inset in. And now I'm going to put in my fillets, because I hate sharp corners. Turn my sketches back off here so they don't affect the way we're looking at it. And there's my last set of fillets. This is the entire part. From then on, I took it over to Cura, and let's get it open in Cura real quick. And here it is in Cura. This Cura is a slicer. This is what takes the drawing and slices it up into layer by layer by layer that the printer understands, and it saves it to what's called G-code. So now you're looking at it here. I've got some pre-made settings in here. I'm not going to go through everyone here, but this tells me I set these for what type of filament I'm using, the heat of the bed, the heat of the nozzle, the layer height, things like that, whether I need support, and I did need support here. I needed support underneath these little leg extensions, and I needed support for underneath this indentation, because a 3D printer can't print on air. It has to have something to print on. So when I have an overhang, like right in here, excuse me, let me get that up. When I have an overhang, like right in here, I have to provide something to print this on. And let me go to the preview real quick, and you will see, you will see the support that got built up so that I could print this leg. In an hour and 44 minutes, I saved it to a flash drive. I took the flash, or a little memory stick card thing. I took that over to the printer, plugged it in, turned the printer on, told it to print, put my favorite filament in, and away it went. And let's go back and let's take a look at the finished part now.
Okay, we're back. So here's the part I printed. You can see this is in the clear ABS. You can see the metal plate I glued into the inset, and you could probably print this out of PLA or PETG. Since I live in Arizona and it gets really hot inside the car, I figured I'd better have it out of ABS. This is the clear Solutech 3D ABS. There the thing sticks on. Let's stick the phone in it. And this is the new phone. Sorry, I've got to hold the camera in one hand while I'm doing it. Phone slides right in. I have space on the back, and there you have it. You can see it just bangs right on. You don't even have to hit the magnet exactly. I can pick it up at a stoplight, put my fingerprint on the sensor, and use it, and then just whack it back on when I need to drive, and I can aim it in any direction. So there you go. There's your short video on why households should have a 3D printer, and somebody knows how to use them. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please like and subscribe, show it to your friends, hit notifications, and I will catch you the next time. Bye for now.